Good evening. This is Sunday, August, is it the 1st or 2nd?
Yeah. This week is going to be
I think it's the 1st. But
yeah.
anyway.
This week is going to be Peter's birthday.
Yeah, this week is Peter, our youngest son's birthday, and he will turn 1 year old. And so I'm here with Cole. Can you say hello?
Hey.
And Bram, can you say hello?
Hey.
And we're going to be looking at the passage that Pastor Jared taught on this morning, which is the story of the feeding of the 5,000. And it's from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 14. And that's where we were today. But also, Miss Rebecca just got this new light, and we've been kind of excited about it because she can read at night. And so we wanted to read a story to all of you, and hopefully it'll help us understand a little bit more about what Pastor Jared was teaching on today. And it's called Filled Full. And I'm going to scooch up just a little bit so everyone here can see the pictures. Can you see the pictures? We can see Jesus teaching the crowds. And that's exactly what we're going to be considering right now. Okay, guys? Cole, Bram, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. There were once 5,000 tired and hungry and probably grumpy people sitting on a hillside wanting their dinner. They'd come to hear Jesus that day. They came before breakfast, stayed all morning, all afternoon, and went past to dinner. None had been meant to be out there that long, but that's how it was, listening to Jesus. It's as if time didn't exist. People could listen to Jesus for hours, and on this particular day, they did. Do you see that? They're listening to Jesus. But they hadn't brought enough food, and they couldn't just go and buy themselves burgers and fries because, of course, they were in the middle of nowhere, and there were no shops or restaurants. Besides, that kind of food hadn't been invented yet. But what could they do? Jesus' friends had an idea. Let's send everyone home for dinner. That's an idea. They don't need to go, Jesus said. You can give them something to eat. Did Jesus want them to travel all the way to town and buy food for everyone? Jesus' friends panicked. But we don't have enough money. What food do you have? Jesus asked. Go and see. Now there was a little boy in the crowd, and he had brought a lunch that his mother had made for him that morning. He looked at his 5 loaves and 2 fish. It wasn't much, not nearly enough for 5,000, but it was all that he had. I have some, that he said. Jesus' friends laughed when they saw his little lunch. That's not nearly enough, they said, but they were wrong. Jesus knew it didn't matter how much the little boy had. God would make it enough, more than enough. Jesus said, bring me what you have. And so the little boy gave Jesus his lunch. And you can see in the picture, he's giving Jesus his lunch.
And Jesus is holding it up.
He is, that's right.
Seriously,
said,
Jesus
watch.
really is holding it up.
Okay, thank you for your help, Cole. All right, how in the world will Jesus feed everyone with just that? Jesus' friends said, because they thought that was impossible. But Jesus knew the one who made all the fish in the oceans. And Jesus knew the one in whom from the very beginning he had made everything out of nothing at all. How hard would something like this be for someone like that? The same God that made the wheat, that made the bread, that made the fish that they were going to eat, could provide everything that the crowds needed. Jesus took the little boy's lunch, looked up to heaven, and thanked his Father. Then Jesus gave the little lunch back to his friends. And Jesus' friends started to hand out the food. Do you know what? It was the strangest thing, because no matter how much they broke off, there was always more and more and more. Enough for 5,000. Everyone ate as much as they wanted. Second helpings, third helpings, even fourths, until they were all full and there were leftovers. Do you see the big piles of bread? There's tons of bread. There's tons of fish. Jesus was providing all of this.
That guy and that guy are holding a lot of bread.
That's true. Well, Jesus did many miracles like this. Things people thought couldn't happen that weren't natural. But it was the most natural thing in all the world. It's what God has been doing from the beginning, of course. Taking the nothing and making it everything, of course. taking emptiness and filling it up, taking the darkness and making it light. See, Jesus was providing everything that he needed for all of his people. And that's an important thing that we can remember.
And even the boy.
Even the boy. But also there's another really important part to this story. Who was the one that helped Jesus a lot in this story?
God.
Well, God provided Jesus the ability to do this, right? Although Jesus is truly God's son.
He can send it to.
That's right, but who was the one who provided the fish and the loaves in the story? Who gave Jesus? Right, no, but who gave them to Jesus?
God.
No, who's the little
Boy.
boy? A little boy gave him some fish and some bread, and Jesus used the little gift that the boy gave Jesus and turned it into something wonderful. And that's true for us, even for children, that God can use the little things that we give him and turn them into something special. What's one little thing you could do to honor your parents or your sister or your brother this week in a way that might show God that we're giving him our gifts of love, our gifts of service, our gifts of kindness? One of the ways in which we can be like this little boy in the story is to come to Jesus and offer him everything that we have and find that he can do wonderful things with our lives. I think that's one of the application points that Deacon Jared offered today, is that God can use us as we give him our little gifts. He can transform them into something wonderful.
Maybe get some flowers for your mom.
Oh yeah, that's a good suggestion. There's lots of suggestions. What's one nice thing you could do for someone in your family, Brem? Okay, maybe a card. Is that a card, Cole? Oh, that's a card. Who's that for?
It's a fire.
Oh, it's a fire. Maybe making a fire for somebody. There's lots of ideas that we can have to do nice things for people.
I have another one. Maybe if you want, and you have enough flowers, you know someone who has a lot of flowers, or you do have a lot of flowers, you could pick some flowers for your mom.
That's a great idea.
Or
that's a really good idea.
Or maybe if you have a sister, you could do it for your sister.
Okay. Well, there's lots of things we can do, but I think this story is really wonderful. Or caterpillar, that's right. This story is really wonderful because it shows that God cares for his people and that he can use us as little people who can do big things if we give our gifts to Jesus. So let's do that this week and trust him. Amen.